everyone. I'm Emily Rushing.
And I'm Jacquie Palisi. Thanks for joining us. 4 men from Colorado returned home this past weekend to a hero's welcome.
They played central roles in saving the lives of the 33 miners who spent 69 days trapped in a mine in Chile. And that's this week's Inside Aurora. The drillers work for Kansas-based Lane Christensen Company, which just happens to have an office here in Aurora.
And one of the drillers, Jorge Herrera, is also from Aurora. We were fortunate enough to get the opportunity to sit down with all 4 men in our studio for an exclusive interview. They talk about their work in Chile, what it's like to be considered a hero, and how this experience has changed them. Joining me is Matt Staffel, Jeff Hart, Doug Reeves, and Jorge Herrera. Thank you all for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Yes, pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and you all work for Lane Christensen Company, which is based in Kansas City, but has an Aurora office. I understand that 2 of you were in Afghanistan when the news reports of the Chilean miners were trapped came to be, and 2 of you were here in Aurora working. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and I know, Jeff, you were on a rig in Afghanistan, and you were doing what you always do, which is drill holes. But when it became apparent that this might be something a little bit bigger than the Chilean government could handle, did you know that your cell phone was going to ring for this mission?
No, absolutely not. We kind of we watched it as it happened, and obviously as they found people alive on the 17th day, piqued our interest. But no, we never thought that our phone would ring for this.
Now, this is a mission that requires a great big drill. And Matt, this is called a SRAM T130 drill. And can you tell us a little bit about it and what it's used for?
It's a top head drive rig. It's mounted on a crane carry. It's ideal for many different jobs that we do. Ideally, a couple 1,000-foot hole is what it's good for doing.
Okay, drilling for water, drilling through rock, those different things.
Yep.
So, Jorge, you came from Aurora, actually. You flew out to Chile, and when you got to the site, what did you assess? Did this look like something? Were you optimistic? Something that you could actually get done between the 4 of you?
Yes, that's one of the main things. Yeah, we can do that. That's what I think about it.
The drill, it was possible to drill down to these miners that were so many thousand feet down.
Yes.
Yeah. And Doug, I know that you're all experienced drillers, but can you describe for us what this mission was like? It had to have been completely different than on any other mission you'd been on, knowing that there were 33 men beneath your feet.
Yeah, it's different than digging a water well for somebody. I mean, there's water and then there's people's lives. I know these guys make their living on the rigs, and it definitely changes how you feel about it, and then the sense of urgency, as Jeff said before, you would like to get the mission accomplished so that they can go home and see their families as well.
Absolutely, and what an incredible mission it was. Talk a little bit about this. It was 2,000 feet, 28 inches the hole that you bore, or 20 inches wide, in 33 days. How is that possible, especially when there were reports, Matt, maybe you can answer this, reports of this happening by Christmas possibly, and it was done within 33 days. How did that?
Well, I think the method that we attacked is what gave us such a big jump start on when we could get those guys out of there. Going through hard rock with the hammers that we were using is the way to do it.
Yeah. Did you put a lot of pressure on yourselves, Jeff, or was there already enough pressure from media and families and everybody else there?
During the process, we had tremendous pressure we put on ourselves because we, as a team, approached it every day as if we were in this mine and our families were up on top. What would we be doing to make sure we were getting the best output for the day? So that definitely put some serious pressure on us.
Yeah. Jorge, did you get to meet the families while you were there? Did you get to talk to them a little bit during this mission, and what was that like?
That's very emotional, you know, when we hear about the comments and all the emotion the families had when we threw with the 26 inches, the hammer over there. Some people so excited, taking mat coveralls and his work clothes. People want our teacher something, you know. It's the people want, one lady wrote his legs around Jeff, you know, she want to keep that smell about grease and always. I have ladies came, you know, to me, take a picture, something very emotional.
And something that you've never really experienced before in your work.
I never experienced that.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, you were actually the person behind the controls when that massive drill pierced the chamber where those miners were trapped. What did that feel like? That had to have been the most incredible experience.
You know, it was a huge stress relief. It was a happy time. We had a lot of emotions flowing. We also, at the same time, knew there's still 33 guys in this mine that aren't out yet. So we were anxious to move to the next step so we could get done with our portion, move out of the way, somebody else come in and do their portion to get these out. So the whole gamut of emotions we went through in a matter of about 5 minutes there.
Unbelievable. Doug, I understand you were all watching the miners from Santiago as they were finally rescued from the hole that you had helped create. What was the feeling like between the four of you and everybody else involved as you were watching each miner come to the surface?
Relief, joy. It's hard to describe. I've never got to be a part of anything remotely as important as this, and it's hard to put into words, and I'm not normally a guy that has a problem with running my mouth. But it's hard to describe.
I know you were all
Getting 33 people out of the ground for something you had contributed to, there's nothing even comes close.
I can't even imagine. I've got chills thinking about it. And I know you were saying, you know, you might have thought it was a time of celebration, but it was actually a very somber time to watch that and just embrace the moment, but not celebrate too much.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the accomplishments of all of you are quite tremendous. It's probably, I would say, the most important work you've done. How do you think this has changed you, Matt?
It's the most important thing that I've ever been a part of, probably one of the most important things I'll ever will be a part of, and it just gives you a greater appreciation for what you do and what the people around you are doing, and how important it is to be with your family when you can.
Yeah. Has it actually sunk in yet that this is something you've done together, and it will probably change you for the rest of your life?
Give you an appreciation for every day you have with your family, for sure. You don't take any of them for granted. You know, you wore out when you get home from a hitch. You think, oh, God, I just want to sleep. You know, but it does it the whole time you're gone. You're thinking these people haven't got to see their loved ones for ever.
Right.
I mean, and they're stuck into the ground. We're above ground. I mean, we're just taking our lumps out at the rig, but these people are stuck in a tomb down there. You can only imagine what it felt like for their families.
Sure. Jorge, how has this experience changed you, do you think?
Something very big about my personal story, you know. Everything is very emotional, and I don't have any words to describe how that will be changed my life. The only I know, I have to be the more best I can in my job, in my life, be a good father, good husband. You know, it's something real special for me. I don't have any words to describe that part.
I'm sure. I think everyone agrees that there are a number of heroes in this story, especially the miner who was taking the lead down underneath and helped ration food and what have you. And you've said over and over again that you don't feel like heroes, you were just doing your job. But you do have to know, Jeff, that because of your expertise and your skills, you are a hero. All of you are heroes, and you really helped change a lot of lives. And so that's really got to be something you hold dear to your heart. If it's even sunk in yet, I'm not sure.
No, I don't know that it'll ever sink in. We, again, we've talked about this. We really did go do our jobs. It is fantastic to be part of this, and absolutely to have this recognized in this industry is huge for us. So it is. It's a pleasure, and we all had a good time doing it. So,
how will going back to Afghanistan change either one of you? Back to work as usual?
Yep. Yep, back to the desert.
Yeah.
If we get it's another important job that we have over
Sure.
there that we're doing, so it's good to get back focused on that and get it done.
have some good stories to tell.
I'll bet you do, and some great pictures to share, and thank you for
Yes.
sharing your pictures with
Absolutely.
us. So, again, Matt Staffel, Jeff Hart, Doug Reeves, and Jorge Herrera, thank you very much for joining us today and telling your story. We really appreciate it, and what a great job and tremendous work by all of you.
Thank you. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Certainly.
I want to thank Dave Tormolam, the GM with Lane Christensen, for helping us get this interview arranged before the 4 drillers had even come back to the States last week. Each of the men are heading back to overseas to continue their drilling work for water in Afghanistan. As we mentioned, the company that supplied the drill, called the Schramm T-130, has an Aurora office. Emily joins us on the chat set now with the division president of Lane Christensen, Dave Singleton.
Thank you, Jackie. And thank you, Dave Singleton, for meeting with us. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Now, the company is actually based in Kansas, but there is an Aurora location. A lot of people may have not heard of Lane Christensen. Can you tell us a little more about the company?
Sure. We're proud to be a part of Aurora. We've been here since 2000. Been in the Denver area a lot longer than that. In fact, our office was one of the original 7 Lane Western offices. Lane is an international company, traded on NASDAQ, revenue in the United States of about $1 billion. 3 different primary parts of our business: water supply, mineral exploration, and energy. Our primary business has been, since 1882, water supply, water well drilling, which is what we do very well in this part of the country.
And you all provided the drill for this major project, the T-130. Have you all ever provided something like this for a mission before?
We've never drilled for live miners before, no. So that was a pretty unique experience, but the guys that we sent operate that type drill all the time, every day, all day long. And the actual work that was performed, although unique in that we were attempting to rescue miners, the work that was being performed, they were very, very competent in performing, and have performed all over the country and, in fact, in many different parts of the world before.
And what was it like? I can't imagine. What was it like for you being a part of this company, watching the TV and seeing them there? What was that like?
Well, we're all very, very proud of the 4 guys that we sent. They're top flight professionals in every single sense of the word. So we were all very proud to watch and excited to watch. And of course, then when you remember that you've got 33 miners and all of their families and really a whole country hanging on every foot that's drilled, it's just a tremendously exciting time and something that we're very proud of.
And now that it is all said and done and it's over and they're home, what's it like? I guess what's the feeling you all have and your company has for these contractors?
Well, we're so excited to have been a part of this, and we're very proud of the guys that we sent. We're very proud to be to have been working with our Latin American partners on this particular project. And you know, as we've said many times, had those 4 guys not been on that site, the miners would probably still be in that hole waiting for Christmas. So they did a tremendous job, and we're very proud of what they accomplished.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We're
We
proud of
appreciate
them as
the
well.
chance. Thank you.
Thank you.